So today we have Google Pixel 6a, OnePlus 10T. Actually इसमें नहीं है. I have it here with me. I have the Google Pixel 6a and the OnePlus 10T. Now both smartphones in my opinion are pretty great, but the Google Pixel 6a prioritizes Android experience and it costs roughly around Rs 45,000 in India. The OnePlus 10T prioritizes performance and it costs roughly around 50,000 in the country. But for today's video, we are looking at the camera specifications. If you want to see the full review of these smartphones, go to our Fiiber Hindi channel और दोनों का review जरूर देखना. But for today, we are fairing both the smartphones' cameras and letting you know which one performs the best. So without any delay, this is Abhay. Let's get started. So let's start with the basics. We look at the specifications of both cameras. The OnePlus 10T comes with a total of 4 cameras. There are 3 cameras on the back, 1 on the front. On the back, it gets a 50 megapixel primary camera with optical image stabilization support. There is an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera and a 2 megapixel macro camera. On the front, it also has a 16 megapixel shooter for selfies. The Google Pixel 6a on the other hand comes with total of 3 cameras. On the back, it gets 2 12 megapixel cameras and the primary sensor has OIS support. On the front, it has an 8 megapixel selfie shooter. If you look at the specifications, obviously OnePlus 10T seems to have an edge over Google Pixel 6a, but there are some differences. One fun fact, Google Pixel 6a uses the same camera sensor that has been used on the older Google Pixel models, but what Google is doing here, it is improving the software programming and the image processing unit. But ठीक है, अगर काम कर रहा है, so what's the problem? Even if it's using an old hardware and it has an advanced processing unit, if the photos are good, how does it matter? So that's what we're doing. Let's start looking at the photos. So first we'll start with the primary camera. Take a look at image 1. Both photos look good, the reds are also fine and so is the sharpness, but the 6a reduces the brightness and increases the shadow. In that case, here the photo with the OnePlus 10T is a bit more natural, but the photo with the Pixel 6a is more pleasing to the eyes. In the second photo, the image with the OnePlus 10T is natural, but here the shadows are more and so is the cool tone. On the Pixel, the photo is a bit boosted and it looks nice. And check this out, the cool tone on the OnePlus 10T is again prominent, but in this photo, the cool tone is prominent on the Pixel 6a. Similarly, in this photo, shadows on the Pixel 6a are more and so is the contrast. The OnePlus 10T offers a more natural look. So overall, if you see the primary camera on both smartphones, the photos are more or less similar, but of course the images sometimes can be inconsistent, but again, I like the photos, so should you. Now let's look at the photos in low light settings. The OnePlus 10T can capture colors, but the photo here is overexposed. Google does a good job of keeping the image cool and more pleasing to the eye. But in the right lighting conditions indoor, you can get an identical image. Speaking of the ultra-wide camera, photos with the OnePlus 10T captures more shadows and the contrast is high. Google takes more or less similar photos and the differences are very small, but in this case, one of them is a bit boosted. Can you guess which one? But the ultra-wide cameras in the low light get tricky. Look at this photo. Photos look similar, right? But closer look shows the Google Pixel captures and processes details that are absent on the OnePlus 10T. Finally, when we take photos in the portrait mode, things become a lot different. I like photos on both OnePlus 10T and the Google Pixel 6a, but the background blur on the 6a is next level. But things definitely change when we look at the front cameras on both smartphones. Photos on the OnePlus 10T get overexposed and the phone does not capture my natural skin tone. Google does a much better job even by capturing the background. Even in low light, images with the OnePlus 10T are super exposed, as you can see, with light on the skin and light in the background. In this photo, portrait mode with both phones is good, but I like the Google Pixel a lot better. Again, the background blur is great, skin color detection is on point, and details are prominent. Also, as I mentioned, the OnePlus 10T comes with a macro sensor, but you know what? Let these images do the talking. Finally, coming to the videos, I find the Google Pixel doing a much great job. Both phones take stable 4K videos even at 60 FPS, but the Pixel's processing work is smoother and it is much more pleasing to the eye. So this is a video test. I'm outdoors, there will be a lot of noises. I hope that they get captured, but I want to see how my voice gets captured in this video on the OnePlus 10T. Now the next is with the Google 6a. It's pretty sunny outside, so I hope that the videos are clear. Audio I hopefully is also good. There's a lot of noises in the background, so I hope my voice gets captured easily. Anyway, I hope this video makes it clear that fancy hardware on smartphone is not always important. You see, Google Pixel 6a is still using an hardware. It is using a Sony IMX sensor, which it used on the previous Google Pixel smartphones and on this one as well. So fancy hardwares are not very important, but yes, processing plays an equal important role. And in that case, photos on the Google Pixel 6a and the OnePlus 10T I find, and in my opinion, are more or less similar. Anyway, what do you think? Let us know in the comment below. If you like this video, hit that like button. Share it with someone who's planning to buy a new premium smartphone, and Google and OnePlus are on their list. Subscribe to Fiiber and Fiiber Hindi. This is Abhik. I'll see you very soon.